Hi Aquarius, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Your key to the week this week is the Universe card. So in this deck, it's called the Universe, but it's the World card. So are you ready for new levels? I think a lot of you are. Are you ready for new changes? I think a lot of you are. More importantly, I think a lot of you are really starting to understand your big long-term distant future plans. I think a lot of things are really coming into sharp focus for you guys this week, and even if it's not necessarily on the material plane, a new spiritual level or a new unlocking of a new level is starting to make itself known to you. There's something here that really speaks, for me, this kind of really speaks to you being in a space where you understand what is going to happen, and more importantly, what your part in that is going to be. So I kind of feel like in my mind, it's like your mind is opening up and you're seeing your plans or your goals or whatever laid out. And there's a sense of dedication here. There's also a sense of discipline here, maybe more than you've had in a very long time. So this could be really exciting for a lot of you. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your actions and options, you've got the 10 of Wands. So for some of you, this could be a week where you're planning travel. For others, this might literally be a week where you start having conversations about a move, a change of home, very possible. Now, the options that are available to you are likely coming from places and spaces that require you to be more active, like as being a more active participant. So what this means is a lot of the stuff that shows up for you this week, you're going to have to act on quite fast. You won't have, you'll have time to deliberate or to think about it, but you won't have weeks or hours. Do you know what I mean? You won't have weeks or months. You'll probably have hours or days. So this is something to consider. For some of you as well, this might be you thinking about leaving or changing a community in some regard. Very possible. For your communications and conversations, you've got the 7 of Wands. So it looks like this is going to be an interesting week, one that potentially has a few mishaps or misunderstandings. Now, for a lot of you, I do feel like this is going to be you walking out of or leaving a community. This is you stepping away from some group, potentially, possibly even a friendship as well. This does feel like a week where something on that social level is definitely coming to an end, and it's probably going to be because it's almost like that 10 of Wands is basically saying you've reached the end of your tether with something or maybe someone, and it's like you've done everything that you can to make things comfortable, and it's like at this point you're just like, you know what, why am I constantly being the one to bend over backwards for you? Fuck it, fuck that, and fuck you. I'm really not interested. Excuse the potty mouth, but you might be there this week, all right? I'm just going to tell you straight up. Now, when it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form of, that was really harsh. It might be for some of you that are studying or in some form of academia. Maybe you're having to stand up for, and you know, it's not unheard of. Yes, Aquarius is the sign of the future, but we do see and understand the need and the value in tradition. And it looks to me like there's something that you're fighting for this week to uphold a certain value or a certain paradigm that you believe still has merit and will continue to have merit moving forward. So in a lot of ways, I actually like this because it's you standing your ground. So I'm here for it. When it comes to your those of you that are employed by somebody else, this could be the thing that prompts that. You know what, there's my notice, I'm out. All right, you might not necessarily hand your notice in this week. For some of you, it might not be that. It may just be that you say to yourself, right, okay, we're going to get past Christmas, we're going to get into the new year, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever it is you celebrate, we're going to get past the holidays, and then in the new year, I am out. There's something this week that represents a breaking point for you, and there's no going back from it. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, you may have something to fight with or for or over when it comes to your business this week. There might be a challenge that comes up. There might be an issue. There might be you having to really stand your ground and hold your ground and kind of let whoever is on the other side of it have it. All right. And this is the thing as well, like Aquarians really, we always try to find another way. Why? Because we're air signs, and we try to be diplomatic and we try to do all the rest of it. But you push us to breaking point and you will find out about it. Trust me for that. And then finally, for those of you that are retired and no longer working, this may show up in the family context. And you might find that there's kind of an argument, a dispute, or something that kicks off. And I've got to be honest with you, because it's the World card, this may literally be something that you feel like you've been dealing with in your family your whole life. And this week you could just kind of say, you know what? I'm done. Like, I am done. I'm out. And this might be the case for all Aquarians, but especially for those of you that are retired. For your love and relations, you've got the 8 of Swords. So there is a hard conversation. If you're partnered, married, or in long-term commitment, you do have a hard conversation to have this week with a significant other. And this is because both of you have very differing viewpoints on something and neither one of you is backing down. In this situation, I've got to say to you, you've got the 7 of Wands in your communications, which does suggest the disputes, but it also suggests that you are in the right here. And it's only going to be by the World card and the 8 of Swords standing your ground for the long run that the other person is going to back down. And again, you know, Aquarians are known to be stubborn. I'll put my hand up to that. But this week, you got to battle it out, all right? When it comes to your, for those of you that are single, it is potential for you to be reconnecting with someone. I would say, though, if you are connecting with someone this week, you're not going to put much stock in the connection with this person. Like, to you, it might be a fling. You might not see it as much. You might think, you know what, we're not really matched, but you know what, I'll go on the date. I'll go for the coffee. I'll talk to you here and there. Like, you're just not seeing much in it. But there is a possibility that it actually ends up going further than you think. For your money and materials, you've got the 9 of Swords. So I'm going to tell you straight up, 9 of Swords with the 7 of Wands and the Universe card. If a friend asks you for money this week, a friend, an in-law, a friend of a partner's, it's a flat out no. All right, like, just don't do it. I gotta say, right, just because the 9 of Swords suggests that it's going to bring undue stress to have the conversation. And with everything else that's here as well, you may not get that money back. So unless it's money that you have to literally lose, to be swallowed up into the ether, as they say, don't do it. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, your arms, your hands and your fingers, and I would say there's a lot of that kind of energy around this week. So please do look after yourself, particularly your back and your arms and your hands. That sort of general, you know, I would say like the upper extremities and the upper back, look out for that this week. When it comes to your home and environment, there might be some hard conversations to be had this week. And there might potentially, for some of you, there might be you seeing something clearly that you haven't seen clearly for a while. All right, so it doesn't have to be with a partner. This could be with a family member. As an example, let's say you've got a family member that you know drinks too much and you haven't really checked in on them, but your intuition's been saying to you, you need to go and check in on this person. And then this week you see it and you're like, okay, wow, this is worse than I thought it was. That's just one example. It doesn't have to be that, but there is something that you've been worried about within your home, so your home and your family, that this week, I think when it comes to light, you'll be like, right, okay, I need to deal with this and I need to deal with it now. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. It's not an easy week, but it is a week that opens things up for you, and your plans, outside of all of this, your plans are about forward progression and momentum. And as long as you hold on to those, you'll be able to use the challenges and the fuel from this stuff to push you forward on that path. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Take care of yourselves and I'll see you soon.